Dude, it's wild how much murkier this cut line got in the past 24 hours. He's got A&M in the field.
Him. Yeah, I agree with him on premarital sex. I do not agree with him on Xavier.
I think I'm with you, man. I think I'm with you. I don't think you can put Xavier in the field. And by the way, I don't think you can put Xavier in the field, and you have to put Xavier in the field before you put Wake Forest in the field. I think Wake has no shot at this point.
Yeah, I wouldn't feel good if I was Wake Forest. I mean, you can't lose that game that they lost. They lost to Boston College. Boston College has been playing better, but like
playing well.
If you're on the bubble,
almost beat Miami. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. But yeah, I think Wake's going to be my pick to win the NIT, maybe. But that's where they're headed, I believe. I'd love to be wrong. But I don't think I'm going to be. So you think Indiana's got to win one more game?
I do.
Right now, you got to take Indiana or Michigan right now. Which one you taking?
GP right now. I take Michigan. Do you have the resumes up? I can bring them up for you. I would take Michigan over Indiana right now.
I've got it.
Okay.
Indiana's 4-7 in quadrant 1, 3-4 in quadrant 2, 7-11 in the first two quadrants with a quadrant 3 loss. So 4 games under 500 in the first two quadrants with a quadrant 3 loss. Michigan's 5-10 in quadrant 1, 3-3 in quadrant 2, 8-13 in the first two quadrants with a quadrant 3 loss. So Indiana's 4 games under 500 in the first two quadrants. Michigan is 5 games under 500 in the first two quadrants. I think I would take Indiana over Michigan right now. But Michigan, here's the thing. Michigan's top 35 at KenPom, and typically, not always, but typically, if you're top 35 at KenPom, you're going to get in the NCAA tournament. It's tough.
And I don't have this data. I wonder how many times in the past 10 years when KenPom has really just entered into the consciousness of committee members, let alone college basketball fans, how many times we've had a team go into Selection Sunday, top 35 at KenPom, and not get in. I know it's happened a few times. I just can't give you the exact teams there. And Michigan rates better across the board, all team sheet metrics. Every single one, Michigan is ahead of Indiana. So that's why I believe Michigan would get in because it's better there. It's got more quad 1 wins. They have the same amount of quad 3 losses. I think Michigan objectively has to be in over Indiana right now. Michigan, but I don't know if either's in. I posed this question to you on the Wednesday show. I said Michigan, Indiana, Rutgers. Who's getting in? And at the start, you said it was going to be Rutgers and Michigan. And now it is conceivable. I don't know if it's going to happen. It's conceivable that none of those teams get in. If Rutgers loses, are we still on the same page that we were on Wednesday? Rutgers loses this game to Iowa, who, by the way, felt like it could have dropped 150 on Northwestern yesterday. Rutgers has to be terrified watching what Iowa did. But if Rutgers loses to Iowa, would you agree with me that it is conceivable that none of those teams get in? Or do you think that the way this shakes out, one way or the other, the committee's going to look up and it's going to, not intentionally, but find a way to get at least one of Michigan, Indiana, or Rutgers in the field?
That's what I think. I think first, let's start with Rutgers. If Rutgers does not beat Iowa, Rutgers I don't think should be in the NCAA tournament.
You can't put them in the field, man. I'm just telling you. I would be more stunned at that than maybe anything else, even though I know the Rutgers has the wins. When you put up its team sheet stuff against every other team, if it loses against Iowa, I just don't think it has a shot.
Here's what I think. Here's what I think happens today. Rutgers loses to Iowa. Indiana loses to Illinois. And out of the combination, and then Rutgers does not make the tournament, Michigan or Indiana, one of them makes it. The other does not. And it's wildly debatable which one gets in. And not even debatable. It's whatever. One of them will make it, one of them won't. And you could reasonably take a guess because that's all you're doing. I say this every year that we spend so much time talking about, but we're doing it right now. We've been doing it for 12 minutes. You're talking about bubbles and breaking down resumes and all this stuff. At the end of the day, when we get to 2 hours before the bracket is revealed, all of us are going to agree on 65 of the 68 teams. Everybody will agree on 65 of 68.
Yeah.
Okay. So then you're going to have 3 spots open, and you're going to have about 5 schools you're looking at for those 3 spots. And then just take your best guess. And you might hit them, you might not. And that's the way this thing unfolds.